walk as if the world would collapse beneath my feet, afraid that every step would expose how fragile I truly was. I hid my trembling heart behind a hardened silence, pretending strength was something I could manufacture. I thought hope was reserved for the fearless, for those who woke with steady lungs and unshaken eyes. So I acted like I was one of them. I laughed at the right time, smiled on command, rehearsed the performance of being unbroken. Yet every night I fell asleep, feeling more like a stranger to myself. I told myself faith belonged to the confident. I told myself prayer was a luxury for people who still believed miracles were possible. The sun could rise without me, the stars could sing to someone else. I walked like a shadow along the edges of my own life, gathering days without meaning, breathing without belonging, convinced that numbness was safer than hope. But your light did not arrive like thunder. It did not rip open the sky or force the mountains to bow. It slipped into the gaps of my exhaustion, quiet, patient, unthreatening. It was the warmth after sleepless nights, the gentle gold on snow-covered streets, the way dawn paints the horizon without asking permission. It was soft but undeniable. You found me in the places I refused to look, in the corners I labeled failure, in the rooms filled with unmet prayers, in the questions I had stopped asking. You traced the trembling angles of my fear and touched them as if they were seeds, not fractures. You taught me to hold myself without apology, to rest my head on the truth that mercy is never late. I thought you sat on unreachable mountains, distance disguised as holiness. But you met me in the valley where no one else saw me, where I thought I had lost everything. You didn't shout commands or demand perfection. You simply stood beside my brokenness, as if it were a place worthy of your presence. I did not hear a sentence from heaven, yet I felt a hand steady my shaking, teaching my fingers how to open again. You carried the pieces I could not name and called them worthy of rebuilding. You laid patience on my shoulders like a coat perfectly tailored to my wounds, as if it had always belonged to me. You found me where the light was quiet, where miracles do not announce themselves, where grief softens into breath and strength learns to whisper before it roars. You found me where the light was quiet, where no one else could see. You gathered every fragile hope and placed them back inside of me. Not in thunder, not in fire, not in the miracles the world demands, but in a whispered dawn that said, I know you're shaking, take my hand. I began to notice how breath turns into prayer, even when lips remain still. How tears are not weakness, but the language of a heart returning home. I learned to stand without pretending, to walk without rehearsing courage. My doubts tried to whisper that I was alone, yet every step carried the fingerprints of grace. You showed me faith is not a scream, but the pulse that keeps moving when everything else collapses. You showed me hope is not a trophy, but the fragile flame we protect until the wind itself becomes a witness. You showed me love is not a prize, but mercy that sits beside us long after we have given up on ourselves. You found me where the light was quiet, not in crowds or empty praise. You lifted me from nameless nights and taught my feet the path of grace. Not in thunder, not in fire, not in victories the world can't see, but in the gentle, steady morning where the light remembered me. I once chased the sky for answers, but you waited in the soil beneath my feet. I once begged the stars to speak, but you breathed patience through every heartbeat. I thought salvation meant escaping, but you healed me right where I stood, turning deserts into gardens, turning wounds into something good. I believed light had to be loud, yet it arrived like a secret held by dawn. Not a spotlight, but a soft embrace that wrapped itself around my broken places and refused to let go. You found me where the light was quiet, and you called my soul by name. You gathered every shattered prayer and turned them into gentle flame. Not in thunder, not in fire, not in visions made for eyes to see, but in the stillness of your mercy, where the light remembered me, where the light found me. You found me where the light was quiet, and you called my soul by name. You gathered every shattered prayer and turned them into gentle flame. Not in thunder,